Joining me now to discuss former President Trump's verdict is Bart Marcois, former presidential campaign policy advisor, former Energy Department official for international affairs, and former U.S. diplomat. Bart, thank you so much for joining us. Great to see you again. Now, to begin, following the guilty verdict, former President Trump's campaign said it raised over $50 million within 24 hours. And reports say Trump and the RNC combined raised over $141 million in May. What do you make of this latest cash influx?
Oh, and it's even greater than that. As of today, it's over $200 million, Tiffany. And the other thing is, most of that money is coming in $20 to $50 donations. It tells you that there are tens of millions of people in America who are looking at this verdict and they're saying, oh my gosh, if they could do it to him, what would they do to me?
And how do you think the verdict will impact independent and moderate voters who maybe haven't made up their minds about this election yet? Do you think they'll be more or less likely to support Trump after all of this?
I've spoken with many independent voters in the last couple of days, and most of them were pretty hardcore against Donald Trump until this trial started. The other trials didn't really catch their attention the way this one did. But this one caught their attention and they said, what is he actually accused of? What is it that they're trying him for? I don't understand how they can do this. And they are saying, you know what? I still don't like the man, but I'm voting for him because there's something rotten about all of this. Over and over, that's what I'm hearing from independents. I still don't like him, but I'm voting for him because this is just wrong.
And looking at polls, a Reuters Ipsos poll shows that Trump and Biden are neck and neck. Now, if the election were held today, that same poll found that among independent registered voters, 25% said Trump's conviction made them less likely to support him, compared to 18% who said they were more likely, and 56% who said the conviction would have no impact on their decision. Now, how do you see this changing the Trump and Biden campaign strategies leading up to November?
Well, I'm not sure what Trump is going to do. I saw a Biden spokesman come out today and say, we are going to put an end forever to the threat of a Trump presidency, kind of giving away the game, what it's really all about. What I hope to see Trump do is go back to his same campaign speech. Were you better off during the 4 years when I was president, or have you been better off during the 3 years that Joe Biden has been in the White House? And if he does that and continues to simply talk about his plans for the future and what he will do and what he did before, I think that point by point, piece by piece, he chips off every single truly uncommitted voter, truly independent voter. People are looking at the trial and they're saying, what is happening to the American justice system? It suddenly appears that no longer is the standard beyond a reasonable doubt or a preponderance of the evidence, but now the standard for guilt or innocence is, what party are you a member of?
Now, switching gears a bit, the jury was seated today in Hunter Biden's federal gun trial. Now, do you see that trial impacting President Biden's campaign?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it will. I don't think anything bad will happen to Hunter Biden. He's being tried in Delaware in the most friendly possible environment he can be in, by a very friendly prosecutor, in front of friendly judges, and before a friendly jury. Even though he's, obviously manifestly guilty of the crimes of which he's accused, I'm sure that he'll get off with probation and a slap on the wrist. The only people who generally go to prison for lying on a federal gun form are people who already have felony convictions against them for other things. He doesn't. And he's the son of the president, and it's in Delaware. It's in his home state. It's not going to have much impact.
And Bart, looking at the bigger picture here, the international community is watching the U.S. elections closely. How do you think these recent trials affect America's image on the world stage?
Oh, it's shocking what it's doing to us. The Russians and the Chinese and the North Koreans and the Iranians are just congratulating themselves, patting themselves on the back for how lucky they are to have something like this going on and to have their greatest foe be attacked this way and hobbled this way. The people in Western Europe and Eastern and Central Europe who are NATO and EU members, the people in Asia and throughout the world who depend on the United States for their protection are very concerned. They're very worried. They see the Democrats saying things, accusing people of being fascists, but they see the Democrats doing the things that the fascists did. They're doing the things that Hitler did. They're doing the things that the communists did, that Mao Zedong did in China, that Stalin did in Russia, show trials of their political enemies. And it frightens our friends and it gives aid and comfort to our enemies.
Quite concerning indeed. Bart Marcois, former presidential campaign policy advisor and former U.S. diplomat. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Tiffany.